and he always spoke about the fact that everybody should be treated equally. Let's hear Moyman. Oh, Moyman's gonna bring the controversy. I already know. Hold on, Moyman. Let me put my headphones on. I know Moyman. Moyman, you're gonna tell me the Muslim perspective, right?
Yeah, Muslim and Australian perspective.
All right, let's hear it. Hold on a second. Let me just put my. All right, tell me what it is. Tell me what it is, Moyman. Hold on. Actually, give me 1 second. Let me fix this. All right, here we go. I can hear you now.
Yeah.
All right, go ahead,
So
Moyman.
I have it. I have it. I don't. The thing is, before I start, I don't think he deserves to go. Like someone should be unalive for what they say.
Hmm.
In terms of like politics, I'm not like in that tune, to be honest.
Okay.
And I just don't think he deserves to go. Although I disagree with a lot of stuff he says, and personally, like he attacked Islam, as you know, and he attacked the people of Palestine,
Hmm.
and that's something I can't agree with. That's when your prompt says, "Are you offended?" Yeah, I'm offended a little bit.
Okay. But like, okay, but let me ask you because I really wanted to ask specifically Muslims too about this. So my
Mhm.
understanding is that people aren't allowed to criticize Islam.
No, you're allowed, but not the way that he did it.
Well, but if and again, with all due respect, if his opinion was because I heard what he said, right? He said I forgot exactly what he said, but he was like,
He
"Oh
said
yeah,
some disgusting stuff.
He said
right,
Islam is the sword of the left.
He
yeah."
left.
He said Islam is a sort of
He
left,
said
and
the
he said
prophet is like a
it's like
pedo. A
Epstein.
lot of
Yeah, he said,
disgusting
"Okay,
stuff.
okay, all right," but if he genuinely felt that way, why can't he be allowed to have his opinion?
If he
Sorry,
felt that
the,
way,
are either of you guys Muslims?
A Moyman
me,
is.
me, I am.
Oh, I'm a Muslim too as well.
Assam Habib.
Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
What's it called? The thing is, he's allowed to have an opinion. Like you can criticize Islam and say it's false, and you can say, "Oh, the Prophet doesn't like." You know how we have normal debates without offending each other.
We
He could
tried,
say
yeah,
that, but
we
you don't
tried,
need to go out and start flat out like
but
cursing out the religion.
okay. So I mean, for one, what you're saying is you're allowed to have your opinion, but you have to say it the way I want you to say it, technically. And then the
Yeah,
other thing, but the
but
other thing
like,
is too is like you ever get caught up in a conversation sometimes, and you just maybe like you get caught up and you get too hyper in the moment, and you just say some.
yeah, the hyper in the moment, but like he genuinely like he genuinely meant by what he said.
Can I interject again?
Like he,
Both
he
of you.
purely had hatred for anyone that was like
Sorry,
Muslim
Akhi.
or like
Akhi, give me 2 seconds. I kind of
yeah,
want to
yeah, go
address
go
this
go.
a little
Do
bit
you
more clear.
do you think it was hatred though, Moyman? Like hatred?
I would argue it is hatred for two reasons, two simple reasons. The first and foremost is one, he was spewing essentially lies or pivoted and biased discussions without evidence, and then two, the fact that he was unwilling to address those directly against Muslims or scholars when they've openly asked them about it. So the best way I like to paint this narrative, and I'm going to keep it TikTok friendly, is imagine someone said XYZ about your mother with a bunch of assumptions, a bunch of conclusions that they may or may not have heard from someone else, yet they don't want to address the actual evidence for it, whatever it may be, right? We have that in the court of law.
Okay.
Address the evidence, discuss, come to a consensus, a foundational agreement, and then build off from there, and then you can come to the conclusion. If you don't do that, it's disingenuous and you're spewing slander.
So then, because of that, he deserves to get unalive.
No,
Oh, no, 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 no. For him to be unalived in the USA, I don't think so. No, nothing holds up to that.
You
Yeah.
see, like, 'cause why did you add that
Oh,
in
because
the
again, because
USA?
yeah, because laws of the land are different elsewhere, right? Let's say if we rewind it maybe 150 years ago, 200 years ago, the people that were calling to free the slaves, for example, would be considered treasonous towards the state and they would be executed. So it's the law of the land there, whereas elsewhere, for example, Britain had different laws pertaining to people who were enslaved at that time, you'd be allowed to question it, talk to it, etc. So the
The
people of today saying obeying the law of the land in the US, well, you also got to be consistent with the law of the land in other countries. If you don't agree with
same
it,
thing, yeah.
I'm sure Charlie
Right.
Kirk.
That's what I'm trying to get at, Sar. So what you're saying is, I mean, if we're not beating around the bush, is that if he was in some Muslim country, he should be allowed to be put to death.
No,
That's what
not
you're saying.
necessarily a Muslim country. We have examples from the Khilafah before, through the rightly guided caliphs, as well as through the Ottoman Empire and other places, where if someone has these opinions or these conversations, or if they want to make any statement, for example, as simple as saying, I don't believe he's a prophet, there's a plethora of options. One of them is saying, okay, well, if you don't agree with that, you're free to leave. In fact, we'll help you leave. You don't have to be here.
Yeah, I get what you're saying, bro. I understand. It's kind of like, the door's wide open essentially to what could possibly happen, right? But the
Yeah.
idea is that he would face some consequences. And I think, I mean, just from I don't know, just from like a general point of view, don't you think most people would be opposed to that stance that Islam takes? That, like, it's such a totalitarian stance.
No, I don't think so. I mean, if you look to the US's support for Israel, for example, they support a lot of laws that a lot of US citizens would be against, as we're seeing overwhelmingly, as well as historically the stances that have been essentially switched from the US. There was a
Right.
point in
So
time.
I get what you're saying. So you're making like the moral argument here, which is like you're kind of saying like, well, if you're against this, and you should be against that, right? But I just mean in terms of like people having their own interests. Like, everybody is selfish, I guess, to put it mildly, right? So like anybody who's in America, for example, like most people are probably going to be on the side of Israel, and at the same time, they're going to want to condemn what Islam talks about. And all I'm trying to get at is, do you see that as like completely outlandish for them to take that position? Or could you kind of like understand where they're
Which
coming from?
position? Sorry.
The fact that they're simultaneously criticizing Islam for being so totalitarian while at the same time supporting Israel, and like what you may see as like Israel being genocidal potentially.
Yeah. No, in general, I'm of the opinion, listen, if that's again, it goes to people who have a foundation basing their own personal beliefs of what is moral and not moral based on their society, their governing body, i.e., their country as well. If you don't disagree with it, then in the case of the US, you have democratic laws where you can make changes, of course. But ultimately, you're not going to tell a person if a country decides, for example, in the US, if we decide that, unaliving someone is illegal, well, that's the law of the land. But there's also the adjustment where they said not too long ago,
Right.
owning another human being was legal and everyone obeyed the law of the land, right? So I do agree that there is moral progression. However, I don't agree with the moral relativism, especially
So,
on things where there's no foundation that people are coming forward with. That's my
oh,
biggest gripe.
okay.
Yeah.
So let me ask you this though, because where do you think Charlie was coming from? Do you think he just woke up one day and was like, I hate Muslims for no reason?
No, but I
No, I.
think,
So I'll let you speak, brother. I was speaking too much. Go ahead.
yeah, I think it's not here. He randomly just woke up and got consciousness. Oh, I hate Islam. I think it's something just out of his own research, own ignorant research, maybe that he came to the conclusion that Islam teaches this and this and this and this, and I'm gonna start preaching that Islam is cannot be compatible with Western civilization, basically.
And
But
again,
but
to add to the brother's point, really quick, 10 seconds. Um, whether it's true or not is also the big factor in things that I would argue. Because again, there are people here or throughout TikTok or anywhere in the world who question, the H cost that occurred, yet in the US, in Britain, questioning that is illegal, right? Because they're essentially stating that, well, if you're questioning something that's factually incorrect based off of their own opinion or their own conclusion, whether we agree with it or not, is subject to the consequence of the law. It's not that much different, essentially, is what we're saying.
right, but so the things that like Charlie would criticize would probably be things like disciplining your wife physically, having schmeck slaves, marrying minors,
Yeah.
things of that nature, right? I mean, that's not lies. Those aren't made up.
The thing
They
is,
are based on the context that he tries to present them as. And I can substantiate that. They are lies based off of the context that he provides and the moral relativism that a lot of people don't seem to understand or comprehend, as well
Can
as their
you
own
can
laws.
you expand on the moral relativism part? What do you mean?
Absolutely, absolutely. So in the US, I'm assuming you and I are both from the US.
Hmm.
Do you know what the lowest age of consent today is in a state?
I think it's like 14 or something. I don't know.
It can go as low as 12, as well with marriage that's also approved by the parents,
Hmm.
right? So that's first things first. That's today. Back then, do you know what the age of consent was with Delaware? I think about 200 years ago.
No.
It was about 7 years old. In the U.S., there's a scholar, or sorry, in the U.K., there's a scholar called William Blackstone, who is one of the best interpreters of the law, going back a couple hundred years, where he was interpreting UK law at the time, essentially stating that, okay, based on our understanding of the law and our conclusion,
I got you now.
marriage at the age of 7 is allowed,
Yeah,
right?
I
So
got you. I
unless
got
we
you.
go,
So
yeah,
you're
go
saying
ahead.
they're being hypocrites, basically.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely.
Okay.
If you're going to judge it by that, especially by our
So,
standards and our differences today,
okay, I got you. I got you. So you would agree though that for like, there's plenty of laws that I've even seen in the past. I remember somebody even showed me a book when I was in high school that was like ridiculous laws in the United States, and it was like really stuff that I was like, what the hell? How's that even in there? Right? Like, so I think what I'm seeing is, yes, those laws may be in there. Yes, like you said, there's, what did you call it, like a progressive or whatever, like moral. There was progression, right? So
yeah, yeah.
so we obviously come from maybe, I mean, if you go further back than even the United States, obviously people were uncivilized, right? And then over time, those things changed. And I get the idea that you can go and quote certain laws or whatever, whatever, but I think you would agree that that's just not the culture today, right?
Yeah, and that's why again there needs to be sort of an objective anchor. As Muslims, we for both the past, present, and future with criteria. The problem that we're having right now, people are saying here that, well, 18 should be, let's say, the legal age for whatever. Well, if you go to another Christian country, for example, Uganda or the Democratic Republic, they're a Christian nation, or Haiti, the age of consent is as low as 12, 14, etc. So my issue is your moral anchorage can't even cross the sea, yet you want to govern all of humanity in time with your context today versus there. We're not taking into factors as life expectancy. We're not taking into factors as growth rate differences, as we've seen from people
So
in the equator.
yeah, so let me just be clear though. So you're basically saying that then you would condemn child marriage in today's society?
So, off of two factors, right? Is it a child? So, what's the definition of a child? Are we going based off of the scientific definition? Is it reaching the age of
Okay, so
puberty, as
basically
most?
no, you wouldn't condemn it. So what you're
No, no, no. It's
saying
not
then
that.
is not
Anyone who's a child,
essentially.
Islamically, that's what I'm saying. There's two
Yeah, yeah,
definitions.
but
There's an
that's
internal.
the thing, is it Islamically, right? That's where like we
yeah.
start
That's
to
why I
kind
need
of
to
like.
know if it's
No, no,
an
no. That's
internal
Christian
critique
too.
or
That's
external.
Christian. That's
Nah,
biblical, brother. That's
I
not
get what you
Islamic.
guys are saying, right? But I think you guys understand that Christians don't even interpret the Bible the way you guys do. Like, I get that you can. I get that it's probably even justified to interpret it the way you do. But Christians don't do that, right?
Well, that's fine.
Christians
Again,
aren't advocating for like child marriage. You get what I'm saying?
neither are we.
Even
That's the fact
Oh,
that
even though
the
they
point that I'm making.
probably like maybe feel like they could, or you feel like they could.
Yeah, yeah, no, absolutely. I can make the case for that if that's the route that Christians want to go. But no, I don't think that that's the route that they want to go. That's first and foremost. Secondly, again, now here's the thing. If somebody wants to classify based off of their definition of a child, are we going off of the US's definition, the UK, Spain? Who's the governing moral anchor here? Because if somebody wants to say, I think a child is someone who's not fully developed, we have studies and we know that the brain of a lot of individuals aren't fully developed around 25.
Right.
So
Right,
where's
I
the
get that,
anchor?
but I think the issue here is that like Muslims want to hear an exact answer when I don't really think there is one, right? To your point,
We agree. We agree. We
but
agree.
but but however, I think that the difference between like the ranges that maybe like Western society would find acceptable is completely different to like the range that
Are you
Muslim
talking
cultures
about
would find acceptable.
are you talking about today or
Yeah,
less than
yeah.
100 years ago?
No, today.
That's what I'm saying. That's why I say it's moral
And so
relativism.
right, and so not to get stuck on this age thing of marrying children, whatever, but like I just think, from that one thing, like you can say a lot of people would get offended, right? Like I'm pretty sure as a Muslim, this is probably something you hear every day from
From uneducated people, because again,
sure,
even now, to no
sure, but it's a
disrespect, you're
very
saying
common
child.
topic,
She
right?
wasn't.
Right, but
It's
it's
a
a very
common
common
topic
topic, right? It just comes up
Yeah, she was
probably
an adult.
constantly.
in debates. Yeah.
Okay,
I think it's
brother.
the number one
Excuse
criticism.
me. Can I get can I get a
I
word?
just want to be clear about this. Is he equivocating moral relativism to the Prophet Muhammad, who was supposed to be the lasting example for all time?
So
No,
yeah,
no, just talking
what he's basically saying is that like even today, like technically on the books, we have some laws that could be like questionable when it comes to age and consent, right?
Not even technically. I'll speak for myself. Yeah, moral relativism, clear as day, is being applied because by the Islamic standard, which I'd argue most people would agree with, she was by all accounts an adult. Islam doesn't allow or permit child marriage, full period.
Yeah, no,
Full
so
Yeah,
stop.
but
so but
the
again, guys,
postmodern fallacy wouldn't apply to Muhammad because Muhammad's supposed to be a lasting example for all
Oh,
time.
absolutely. And what's the criteria he provided?
So the point is that
What's the criteria he
would
provided?
you
Yeah,
give
he's long lasting. He gave us a
if
criteria.
he's the greatest example for humanity, would you give your 6-year-old daughter to him?
He gave us a full criteria. If the
It's just
criterias
a
are
simple
met,
yes or
our
no, Sam.
scholars,
Hold
our
on,
Wait, why are we
listen,
not
I'll
talking about
answer.
Charlie
well,
Kirk?
guys, so
Isn't
I don't want to get caught up on whether it's allowed or not allowed because obviously it's allowed, right? Like I mean, Islam allows it. But
Okay.
my
It
main thing
allows
right
marrying an
now.
adult.
I
It
mean,
allows
that's what.
marrying an
Yeah, but
adult,
so
Oh,
let's
soon
not
not a
as
call. So no,
child.
wait, 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 wait,
an
wait,
hour.
wait, wait, wait. Okay. Before we get stuck on that, okay. So let's just agree that we have different definitions of adults, right? For the most part, generally speaking.
But there's one point.
No,
There's just one
no.
point nobody's making. There's just one small point, and I just want to please point that out. In the 1800s in the UK, a boy that was 10 years old, if he stole a horse, he was hung. He was literally put to death for stealing a horse. Now, you have to understand one thing that scientifically, the mind of a person controls the maturity of the body of a person. For
Yeah.
instance, a person here in the United States at the age of 14 is not the same as a boy in Yemen at the age of 14. They
And
all
not
speak.
only that, brother, they can be tried as an adult too in certain
Guys,
cases. They can be tried as
we
an
get
adult.
it, right?
Hey, let's
We
focus.
get it,
Let's
guys.
focus.
I trust me, I get it. I've had this conversation a million times. I totally understand where you guys are coming from. The only thing I'm trying to say is like somebody like Charlie who grew up in Western society, they're just gonna be shocked by that, right? It's something that you have to sit them down and say, look, hear this, and think about what happened in the 4,000 years ago, whatever, right? Like it's just not something
But
that we're used to
Charlie,
hearing. So
but
our
Charlie got
natural, but
devout.
Let him finish. Let him
but
finish.
so
Let him
our
finish. Let him
natural, yeah,
finish.
so our natural reaction is like this is pedophilia, right? And then
Well,
like
what
when you
morals are
guys
you grounding it on?
I'm not. That's the thing
These
is that
are.
you guys want us to have this like fleshed out idea where we can go and cite you scriptures from the Bible to prove it. It's like we don't even go that far, right? We just simply say this is weird and that's it, and we make our judgment, and we don't want it. And I
Yeah,
think
but
Here's
people
the thing.
should be allowed to have that opinion. I don't see what's wrong with that.
Oh,
Yeah, but
absolutely
like,
valid. But here's the thing. What's your moral anchor for it? If someone just tells me this
That,
is my
again,
subjective opinion, no, I'll explain why. I'll explain
that's
why.
like an
it's like
atheist,
Hold
if
on, hold on,
somebody
hold on.
it's like if somebody did something offensive to your family member and you were like, "What's your moral anchor for it?" Like
Well, what
it's
is it
just a
again? Yeah, I'm consistent.
it's just a
I'll tell you
knee
why.
jerk reaction, though, right? I mean,
Yeah, it
like
doesn't mean
it's
it's
a knee
right.
jerk reaction. I'm not saying, and so I'm not even gonna go that far to even say it's right or wrong. I'm just gonna say I think people are allowed to have those opinions. That's it.
Oh, again, that opinion under that governing body and that institute or whatever, I am fine. If they agree to that, they agree to that. Islam accounts for that as well too. It even stipulates that if you're in the law of the land, if you have a treaty, if you have an agreement, obey that agreement first and foremost.
Right. But I
Secondly, to
think but let me because this is the thing.
yeah,
To me, Charlie was concerned about America, right? I don't think he's so
yeah, I
like
wanted to address that.
yeah, I
wanted
don't
to
think
address
he's
that.
so like it's just to him he feels like America's losing its values and one of the big things that's happening right now across the world unfortunately, whether anybody wants to accept it or not, is like a lot of Muslim countries are migrating into Western civilizations.
Here's the thing: who's the president currently? Who's been implicated? Like again, let's argue. Let's say that what he's saying. Let's pretend I grant you that he's saying child whatever, right? Let's say I grant you that. Who is the elected president that has been listed in the Epstein files? The cabinet, the previous president, the president prior to that, Charlie Kirk, who he's dying and defending for, and speaking of that, who's been implicated in this. How does he have that, even from his own paradigm? How does he have the moral grandstanding to make these claims?
I don't get why that. Why do you feel that that's relevant right now?
Oh, it's absolutely relevant. You elect your elected world leader, who you think is governing the free world, who you were defending,
Keeps breathing into the
by.
microphone. Why are you breathing
It's
into
the guy with
microphone,
the animal picture on the bottom, I think.
What? Yeah. Are you doing that on purpose, boss, or? It's like he's like sleeping. Let me mute him for a second. There you go. He dropped himself. All right, go ahead,
Thanks,
boss.
man.
I'm sorry.
But yeah, I'll just wrap it up. But yeah, his elected leader, the vast consensus of an elected leader in the nation. That's why I'm saying if your stance is democratic, if your, let's say, position or moral anchorage is democratically elected individual, well, he has no legs to stand on. We've seen how many presidents that could be implicated as war criminals. We've seen how many people who've been indicted and named in the Epstein files that they're trying to hide.
I get what you're saying, boss, but like, I mean,
Tell me I'm wrong. Just honestly, tell me I'm wrong.
I'm not gonna even say that you're wrong, but what I'm saying is, I
Is it
think
not
we can
hypocritical
agree.
at least?
No, what I'm saying is, I think we can agree that Charlie would be against Trump if, like, it really came out that Trump was actually implicated, right? Like, I think we can agree on that.
But he's on it. Wrote him letters even after his first
I get
case.
it. I get it.
Brother.
Trust me. Like, I'm not even gonna, like I said, I don't want to make this about the Epstein files. So like,
Brother,
whatever,
if this
right?
was you and you told me, listen,
but
I didn't
look,
vote
like
Trump,
for example, like I voted for Trump, for example, me, right? So
Okay.
I could fall under the same umbrella as Charlie in this point. I voted for Trump. I've always been a Trump supporter. Now, do I think this stuff is weird? Sure, but I'm sitting here suspending my judgment until like the official narrative gets completely played out. Now,
and what we're
now,
saying is apply that same standard with the Muslims as well as Islam. You
in
saw how
what
quickly you
that's
were
what
with that.
I wanted to ask you. How does this connect to Islam? That's what I want to ask you.
By being consistent. The thing for
In
me is
what
the
way
hypocrisy.
exactly? In what way exactly? What do you mean?
So if somebody had, like, let's say a superior, whatever they want to put, and you want to judge by that, okay, well, let's apply first and foremost, if you want to do that double standard, your own law against that individual in particular. Otherwise, it's moral relativism, simply put. And he's been indicted. He's a convicted felon, right? He's in office. He's been
Yeah.
indicted on the Epstein
Okay.
files.
I get what you're saying now. I get what you're saying. Okay. But I think the fear that we have in this country is not that, that we expect all of our politicians to be perfect, right? Obviously, yeah, Trump, whatever, he has a riddled past. But anyway, he has to follow the Constitution in terms of what he does to us, for the most part. Right? Some people are going to disagree on that, right? But for the most part, he's not going to mess with our God-given rights, especially to freedom, right? Freedom of speech, freedom of religion, right? Where I think Islam is, we can't say the same thing for Islam in general.
This is why it comes down to the moral anchorage that I was asking. Are you basing it off of, the U.S.'s system? Is it democratically? Is that where your anchor comes from? People agreed upon in a society, majority vote, because you highlighted the Constitution. They agreed upon. Prior to that, they didn't have a vote, for example, on the Constitution. They had elected officials who came to that and had that consensus. And then from there, they selected their leader who could skew or make adjustments to certain amendments, etc. The fact being is that that person was
Yeah, but
elected.
you're not tying in Islam to
I
the
am,
political
because if
system in the
you're,
United
I
States.
am, let me land. I am, because if your anchorage is related to democracy, then we can have that discussion. I need
Well,
to know what that
gratefully,
anchorage
it's not
is.
related to democracy
So,
because we live in a republic.
I mean, let's just start there, right? Okay, even if we want to
So
grant
do you agree wholeheartedly with democracy?
I agree that you
Wholeheartedly.
have a faulty understanding of how the
I
United
didn't
States.
ask that. I didn't ask that. Don't straw my position. Simple, bro. Did
Let,
I
let's
ask?
let's just start
But-
there.
but-
Let's say
but
let's
what's
say
the moral
let's say
anchorage?
let's say we do have a democracy. Let's say we do have a republic, whatever, where we have freedoms certain freedoms that you cannot take away, right? We have freedom, Second Amendment, freedom of religion, freedom of speech, freedom of press, freedom of
Governed by
protest.
who?
Wait. Just before we get to any of that, right? I think we can agree that whatever you may feel about America, we're currently there, right? We're currently in that place where we have these freedoms, and we
I
want
don't
to
believe
keep them,
so.
right? What is your problem with that now?
No, my problem isn't that. My question is specifically, do you agree with the process of it, right? For example, what the
Notice he
laws
said
are.
that was Islam,
Notice how you
which is
keep
kind
cutting
of what
me
I'm waiting
off.
for.
Notice how you
But
keep
you're not
cutting me off.
tying in Islam to it. You said you're going to answer
You're
the
because you're
host's
not listening.
question,
First of all, you're not listening, and then
then you
secondly, you're
didn't
not
tie in Islam
comprehending.
to it.
You're not comprehending. I already made the point. I'll make it again. I'll put it in simple English for you in case you're struggling. If your moral anchorage is the system of how you decide your laws based off of the democratic process, then we can talk about how that doesn't work comparative
And what does
to
that
All
to do
right,
with
Islam.
I
Islam,
got okay.
though?
I
You
think
see how you didn't
okay.
even let me finish.
All right, I think I got what you're saying now. So you want to know about the process, right? And
No,
then
no,
you
no,
want to talk
not the
about whether
process.
that
Just
works. That's literally what you
no,
just said.
just if you guys agree with that, if that's your moral anchor, that's what
I'm
I'm
not
asking.
so I don't know what to me, and I'm gonna be honest. It feels like you're trying to give me a red herring right now. That's what it
No,
feels
I'm
like to me.
not, bro. I
Because
can
I'm
do an
not
internal
talking to
critique.
because what I want
It's
you
a
to
non
listen to.
sequitur.
So listen. What I'm trying to say to you is I'm not talking about the process yet. We can get there, right? But in terms of the laws that we currently have, right? Like the Bill of Rights, the Constitution, those things, those are in place. There's not even a process really. Like I mean, yeah, there's a process, but it's pretty hard to change those things at this point. Okay,
No, but it has been
so,
done.
so I get that. I get that. But I think for the most part, as Americans, we like it the way that it currently is. And there's not really much changes that we want in general, right?
Well, again, in the past couple of decades, laws have been changed due to voter representation, due to the person that's there. My point being is, and this is what I
What does
think
that
that
have
you
to
guys
do
are
with
not
Islam,
understanding.
sir? Like you
I,
keep
so
on
so
doing
You
this
so
with
have,
let's just
Bible
focus. Let's
speech.
just focus on a couple of them.
I'll make
Okay,
it
let's just
simple. I'll
say
make it simple.
let's
I'll make it simple. I'll reduce the argument very simplistically. The U.S. is a democracy, correct?
sure.
Great. You agree wholeheartedly a democratic system is the best way to govern a society.
I think
Yes.
so. Yeah, I think so.
Okay, great. That's fundamentally the reason why I asked, because all the laws, the amendments, whatever, is dictated by the democratic process.
Now,
But the
now I will
fundamental,
say, let me add a caveat to that because I will say there, like there is a what I'm noticing now, and I think this is part of again the issues that Charlie was having, and I think most people on the right are having this issue is that we're seeing that yes, the democratic process can get hijacked essentially. It can get hijacked
no, so
by,
then it's flawed.
and you're right. But it's this is what I want. So let me just say this. I'll put it out there. Whatever. I guess take it however you guys want. It seems like it's only flawed because of beliefs like Islam. To be honest with you, like it would
Well,
be fine if
who's
Islam wasn't around. Like that's
okay?
not even.
Who's currently owning the massive amounts of seats in Senate? Who's funding Republicans, Democrats on?
I
Do we
know. I know
have
you're gonna say. I know you're gonna say it's the Jews. I get it.
it has nothing to do with Muslims, first and foremost.
Okay.
Secondly, and even if that's the case, your democratic peers and predecessors
Because
determine that that's allowed.
Because this is what Islam
You
is
see the
saying. This
issue?
is this is what Islam is saying, right? This is what Islam is saying. You guys have a democracy, so we can come in and vote in for a totalitarian system. That's literally
No, no,
what you
no, no,
guys are
no.
saying.
That no, no, no. That's what you guys are saying. But there are
How?
laws. There are laws that are set in place to essentially bypass that, to avoid that. Yet it
How?
doesn't
Which
necessarily
ones?
always happen.
Which
I'll give you
ones?
one. Who repealed the amendment for slavery's 3/5 a man?
Okay. All right. This is so. This
Okay, I'll
goes
make it simple.
way
I'll
no
reduce
no
it.
no
I'll
because no
reduce it
because
far
because
simpler.
I don't want to get tunnel vision on the process because you and I both know very well that what'll end up happening eventually is just civil war, right? It's not going to be all democratic.
Sorry, I got a phone call. I didn't hear that last bit.
I
What did you say? Can you repeat that?
Yeah, at some point, this is going to turn into a civil war. It's not going to be a democratic process all the whole time, right? Like,
Oh,
yes,
no, no,
like
absolutely.
right. So, like, little by
My
little, Muslims are going to get seats here and there. They're going to try to impose certain things little by little, and yes, we might have some certain
versus
like
APAC
guardrails,
agents.
whatever. Yeah, and the thing
Okay,
is
yeah.
that the fact of the matter is, yes, what you're saying is true in terms of APAC, yes, but also what I'm saying is also true, right? There's influences, right? So I'm not saying that these influences don't exist. I'm just saying, do you think as a Muslim person it's okay for us to fight against any of those influences?
Listen, if it's in your land, you have your laws. If people are abiding by the laws, if Muslims are there and they're abiding by the laws, there's no
Yeah.
issue Islamically. The only
and my dear brother, I think one thing that it's such a far stretch to bring Islam into this this place becoming a totalitarian government and a
How?
Islamic.
hello, sorry, I got
How?
cut off. Sorry, I got
How?
cut off.
It's
Can you
I
hear me?
mean, like, that's something so far. That is something
How?
so far away that I think it becomes a
How?
scapegoat for what's going
How?
on.
How? How? How?
I mean, look, just look at how many Muslims are in the Senate, how many Muslims are in local
So
government,
so
how
wait,
many.
so wait, are you saying that Islam wouldn't allow that to happen, or are you saying that it's not going to happen anytime soon, so I should shut up about it? Is that what you're saying?
No, I'm saying that it's such a far stretch,
I
and I don't
understand,
think
but when you saying far stretch, do you mean because of time or because ideologically it's not possible? Which one?
ideologically it is possible.
Okay, so
Anything's
then
possible.
what are you talking about?
That I'm what I'm talking about. What I'm talking about is one of the ideologies of Islam is, as the brother was mentioning, that we follow the law of the
We
land.
understand that, but that's gaslighting us into falling asleep until you guys become the majority and then you vote us out of existence, right?
Sorry, so you have an issue with that?
Obviously. And I think anybody who's in the
Oh, time
West
out, time out,
would
time out, time out. I just want to clarify. You have an issue with that, right?
100%.
Great. So
Well,
if today the vast majority of people decided that people of darker skin should be enslaved because they infiltrated, you'd be perfectly fine with that, or would you be against that?
how does that follow?
It follows because, again, the democratic process, if they want to repeal any amendments, if they want to go through that process, if a vast majority of, let's say, another ethnic group decides to come in and say, well, we want to impose our laws that make it so that people of Canaanite
Yeah, yeah.
descent, for
So
example,
why would I be for that if I'm against being taken over by Islam? Why would I be for
so
what you're
so
saying
okay,
right
so
now?
you're against any group that takes the majority to quote unquote infiltrate and change laws, change the leadership, whatever,
Yes,
correct?
100%. So
Great. So you're
we
against
live in
democracy.
a society, right? Which I mean, we can you guys call it Western society or whatever. We have our own
So you're
society, our
against
own
democracy,
culture.
brother.
Uh, so I want you to understand that. That's why I said that earlier, right? Democracy, unfortunately, can get hijacked. And I think that's something that we're just now facing. We've never had to face this before. This is just now coming up. Like from what I see in history, yeah, maybe Europe went through this
Specify
before.
with who? With the Muslims or with
Yeah,
APAC?
I mean, to me, it seems like so. I would say, I mean, to be honest, they're probably both, right? But at the same time, for me, when I look at it, I feel like it's mostly with Islam, to be honest with you, because
Mostly.
yeah, and like not mostly, but like I'm using the wrong word. Maybe so I feel like Islam would be because to me, APAC is basically fighting the same thing that I'm talking about right now. They also don't want to get taken over by Islam.
What? Okay. All right. Anyways, we'll come back to that. But first, I want to
Why?
address the earlier point,
Well,
because
that's what I mean. That's
the earlier
basically
point
the
is more important. No, the earlier point is more important. Fundamentally, you can't, based on the fact that you said yourself, being in said country, right, and being under that democratic policy, going through all of that, if a group, even if they're in the minority, can influence the majority to follow their subset of laws or rally them against anything, you can't be against it because you're for democracy, right? So even
but
if they
yeah,
have
no, but
51%,
that's the thing is that you're like the people who founded this country then would be against democracy according to you, right? Like our system is set up for revolution. Our system is set up like where if the government becomes too powerful, we're allowed to revolt. So
So do
so
you
you
agree with that or disagree?
100% agree with it. So now, but I want to go back to the Israel issue
Wait,
because
wait, wait. On that point, if you agree with it, then what's the issue? Let's say a bajillion Muslims flood in, a bajillion Jews flood in, they revolt. So what's your issue? You agree to it. What's the
no.
problem by your own
So
standards?
that's the thing. So we would obviously want to close our borders to not allow that to happen in the first place, right? That would be that like you got to understand like democracy at this point is like hanging on by a thread. And it is even for me to the point where I'm going to support it. It's hanging on by a thread.
Well, hold
Right?
on.
Like I support it until probably the next 4 years, and then I'm going to say, you know what, we need like we need just Trump to be the king for a little bit. Like,
Oh, so you believe in authoritarianism then,
yeah,
essentially.
right. If it's to defend my current, like let's just say the status quo in America, yes.
Okay, thank you. So you're honest. So you don't agree with America. You don't like America currently.
You just want Trump to be king. You're
You're
Trump.
Yeah,
not.
you
You're,
want you
no,
want a
no,
king.
no, no. Look, like if you guys want to word it that way, that's your choice. For me, it's just a simple. I don't want to get taken over by another civilization. That's it. Simple.
And
But
by
it's
whatever means necessary is fine, even if
Of
they
course.
if they go through the
Yeah,
legal
but yeah,
processes.
because like number one, like nobody should even be wanting to take us over. Like the fact that you're getting offended that I don't want to get taken over is crazy.
No, no one is. No one is, brother. You're highlighting why
Like, so
you
what you're
agree with
saying
me.
is that you don't want to get taken over?
Scary.
Wow.
No,
Okay.
brother. What you're
Hitler,
saying is
like-
you want to be taken
Scary.
over. That's
Hold
the
on.
point.
Why-
Wild.
hold on.
That's wild.
So, Sour Soul, why would the founding fathers put in there that we could revolt against them? What would have
Fantastic
caused?
question.
Okay, now let me finish. Why did they put that in there? Go ahead. What basically my question is why did they put that in there to protect what?
To exactly stop what the host was just saying.
No, to stop you guys.
Bro. Yeah,
No,
so
no,
look,
no.
hold on.
It's
He wants-
basically
he
to
wants
stop.
a
It's basically
dictator.
to protect our freedoms, bro.
No,
Like
you
It's
said
the
you're
hold
fine
on.
with a dictator changing
The
everything.
Constitution, if the government goes against the Constitution, it is written in there that we can revolt, correct?
In the current Constitution.
yeah,
It,
like
the
you,
only Constitution
With
we
with
got.
any of the other amendments. Are you
like
including
you
the
have to
amendments?
understand right now as it stands, America is like a majority Christian country, right? And so
Okay, and if
like
it wasn't
when we
tomorrow.
listen to what I'm saying. So currently, as it stands, obviously we don't want people to change that. You get what I'm saying? And so what you guys are proposing is like, well, but you allowed us to vote, so
No,
we
you
get to
agree
change
with
it.
wanting to change it.
So the
You agree with
solution
it.
so the solution would simply to just say, okay, we're just going to close our borders, and then we don't have to deal with that, right?
That's fine. Again, if it's there, that's fine. There's no issues. There's no qualms. No problems. Right?
Here's the thing.
People go through the legal
Wait,
channel.
Sour
Let me
Soul.
finish. Let me finish. Give me a little bit.
Yeah.
We agree with that. But what you're saying is you're fine with it changing or not changing based on the populace there. My problem is, and that I'm highlighting, is that's hypocritical. Because again, about 200 years ago, that same nation agreed black people didn't have any rights.
But
Yet
again,
they changed.
you're calling something
Why can't that
hypocritical.
be
You're calling it
infiltration?
hypocritical. You're talking about hypocritical, but that's assuming that we let ourselves get invaded first, right?
There were wars going on. There was political differences going on. People's opinions changed.
So, because what I'm trying to get to is this, right? I feel like most of Americans right now do not understand how important it is to close our borders, right? And I think what they should take away from this conversation is close your borders, because if you let Islam in, they're taking over and they're getting rid of the Constitution.
No, we
Simple.
have no issue. You can point to AIPAC that's currently doing that. Don't look at us.
It's
We're
not.
not
I'm
a
not.
majority.
What I'm saying is that the Constitution is automatically anti-Islamic. It's not according to Sharia law. So if you guys became the majority, it would be done away with. Period.
Regardless, you agree with it. That should be fine.
So all Americans who currently exist in the system that we currently have should use the democratic process to avoid that happening at all costs.
Okay, let me phrase the question this way then. So if there was a group internally in the U.S. citizens, let's say you close off the border, right? Border closed off, no muzzies coming in, none of that bullshit, right? That you're saying, and you have a group of people who are able to influence the majority, essentially stating, we want to be anti-Semitic now and do this to set amount of people. You're in favor of that.
I wouldn't be in favor of that.
Why not? It's the majority.
No,
Because the majority doesn't affect.
Again, yeah, you're
There you
asking me,
go.
you're
You
asking
can't apply it to
this
Muslims.
is what you're asking me. This is what you're asking me right now. You're just saying that because I believe in democracy, right? That means that I have to agree with the majority. That doesn't follow.
You literally do. You have to.
No.
That's what the democratic process is.
I can be, but the democratic process also allows me to be against whatever I want. I can protest.
Unless
right?
the majority says
But
that's
we
not
would
allowed.
lose. We would even lose the right to protest if it was Muslim. That's the point. You get what I'm saying?
You already are, bro. You can't burn your country's flag.
All right.
quote unquote.
So I think everybody
Free
gets
speech is
it. I
censored.
think everybody gets it. So when we let in Islam, we're letting in a bunch of people who are totalitarian and want to take away our freedoms. I got it.
No,
Okay.
you already have it
So
now.
perfect.
you
Perfect.
had it
I got
when
you.
they
I
gave
got you.
black people
So
rights.
I got you. So now let's talk about Israel because I want to talk about that as well. What do you want the Jews to do?
To leave.
Leave
Yeah,
where?
That's simple.
Okay, and
Leave.
go where?
Go back to where their
America to
ancestors
Europe,
came
where they
from.
came from.
Where's Europe?
Europe, Germany,
Poland, Ukraine,
Oh,
Germany.
Okay. So you want so essentially you want them to leave where they're currently at because it's offending you and whatever.
No, it's not
and
because
and
they
go
don't want
somewhere else and then just start it all over again and piss some other group off. Is that
That's what they did. That's what they did from Europe. That's literally what they
Okay.
did in
They did it
Europe.
Okay,
from
okay.
They
Europe.
left
came from
Europe to do
Europe
that
and
in
came-
Palestine.
Perfect. So
did
so
all
what
this.
you're calling for essentially is a genocide, right?
No, by what definition?
Because you basically are saying you like think about this. You don't want them to have any land.
By what definition?
By the definition of having any land, like
So
they
you support
only have
colonialism.
like think about Muslims, right? They have like I don't know 50 something,
Don't make
60
it Muslims.
something.
You said Israel.
No,
You
no,
said
but
Israel.
like literally Islam has their lands, right? Jews
What
only
Islam-
have
no, there are
one.
countries.
Okay, Jews only has one land. So if you kick
Bro,
them out of that
They have
land
the
right
US.
now, huh?
They have the U.S. What
No,
are you
they
talking about?
don't. No, they
Yeah,
don't.
they
Yes,
do.
they do.
APAC.
The US would
They
accept
have
it.
birthright.
Brother,
I don't know
okay,
why
okay,
you're
okay. You love saying
attacking-
APAC. Okay, you love saying APAC. Okay. Do you think that there's no Muslim influence in the United States?
Muslim influence in the United
Yes.
States.
Yes.
Oh my God. Okay, yeah,
That's a
let's
joke.
No, actually, no.
don't-
We won't divert. We'll come back to that. Hold
Okay.
pin on that. I want to address your Israel stuff. We'll come back.
But
to that. Please remind me,
like
please
Trump
remind me.
right now is literally about to go kiss ass in Qatar because they're upset at him for what
He
Israel did the other
allowed
day.
Israel to
Perfect.
bomb Qatar.
But so we don't act like there's no Muslim influence, okay? Like
He allowed
he
Israel
has
to
ties
bomb
with Qatar,
Qatar.
he has ties with Saudi Arabia, and all these people also have a shit ton of money to throw at the
He
government.
allowed Israel. to
Wait.
bomb
But they're
Qatar.
also funding. They also have funding that they send to schools and all sorts of stuff. So please don't act like it's only APAC. I don't know what the name of the Muslim ones are, but they have their
Because it
groups.
doesn't exist.
It does
doesn't
exist.
exist.
If
What
you're gonna
exists?
tell me that the Muslim countries who have literally like the most oil all around the world are not using that money to push influence
So
in
why?
the
So
United
why
States,
isn't it a
it's
Muslim
crazy.
majority country now?
It's crazy. What's your question?
So why isn't it a Muslim majority country now, or laws pertaining specifically to Muslims being allowed then?
Wait, you're asking me. Hold on.
Yeah,
you're
it's
saying,
that
you're
influence. You
asking
see,
me.
you're clocking
Wait,
to the APAC,
because
right?
it's just funny that you're saying that. Doesn't even make
APAC
sense.
is clicking now.
So
Well,
so
it's
so you're
clickable.
saying by your argument, then it would be a Jewish majority country, and it's not.
Yeah, who funds Israel's free healthcare? Who
Brother,
funds their education?
I don't know if you're conflating on purpose or being disingenuous on purpose, but
No,
you
just
just
answer, bro.
asked me why is there not a majority Muslim country if they were doing any sort of like funding for their beliefs?
No. Our
Those
laws
two things
benefiting
are
them,
not
assisting them.
connected.
No. Benefiting them, assisting them, etc. Qatar, like you just said, gave like what, a $600 million private jet to Trump,
Just
right?
because they
Guess what
have
happened 3 months
just
later?
because they have some influence doesn't mean that they're gonna like rule over our country, right?
So the current
I'm
laws,
not
the country
saying
that's-
even if you want me to grant you, I might even say yes, maybe the Jewish influence is stronger than the Muslim influence, whatever. I'm just making the point that there is Muslim influence,
there is
right? Like there,
There's none.
okay, all right, yeah, whatever.
There is none. Where is it?
Everybody, okay, look, we have Muslims. Do we not have Muslims in Congress? Do we not have Muslim mayors? Do we not have that?
There's probably like 5 in
Bro,
Congress at most.
see, this is the thing is that we're not.
Name
we
me
don't have
5
to.
in Congress.
So we don't have to wait until it becomes a huge number, right? Because by that
Name
time
me
it'll be too
5 in
late.
Congress.
For what? I don't
Like
want
you said,
one. I don't want
Muslim.
one of them.
So how many are influenced by APAC? How many are bought by APAC?
I don't
How many
want,
have
but
Jewish descendantry?
but I don't
How
even
many
want
are dual
what. Okay,
citizens
brother, listen.
to
From what
Israel?
you just told me, right? That Islam is going to come over and take over the Constitution
I
and be
never said that.
totalitarian.
I never said
I
that. I
don't
said
want
you
that.
agree with
I don't
that.
even want that. By that
You agree with
definition,
that.
I don't even want one here.
You want it.
So,
You
so
want
the
it, not
fact that
me.
the fact that we even have one is already too much by that standard. You
Not
get what I'm
me. I'm
saying,
not the one who wants it, bro.
Okay,
You're the one
brother?
who wants it.
Brother,
You're the one who accepts it,
it's
not me.
you guys
I'm
love to
fine with
tap
how it
dance.
is.
You guys want to
Okay,
tap
listen,
dance around
listen,
the
brother.
truth, right?
Hypothetically,
It's just a
let's say
fact.
let's say every Muslim leaves the country. They're gone. Every Muslim leaves the country. And I would hope that the US would stay out of our countries too. But forget that. Let's say every Muslim leaves the country. If you're looking at Charlie Kirk, then what is he talking about of a degradation of democracy in this country? Is it not the cancel culture? Is it not the feminism? Is it not the LGBT? All of
Yes.
the
What's your point, though?
what my point is that you're just like so blinded by Muslims, you're making them a
No,
scapegoat
no,
for the
no,
problems of
brother,
other
brother.
things,
First
bro.
of all, I started this live to talk about anybody who got offended by Charlie. It just so happened these brothers came up, they're Muslim, so they want to talk about the Muslim perspective. I'm not blinded by anything. Second of all, like if we have issues, every country has issues, and we're allowed to deal with it internally however we want within a certain boundary of the Constitution, right? What we're talking about and what I am against is where Muslims would come in and they would completely revamp that entire system. That's what I don't want.
Okay, I
Where
get
did
you.
we say that we want to do that?
It's
No,
just
so
it's you don't have to say it. And honestly, I don't know if you personally
You're the
want
one
to.
who's saying that, bro.
I'm not saying that you personally
Islam doesn't
want
even
to,
say that.
my brother. I'm not saying you personally want to. What I'm simply saying is, and you can tell me if I'm wrong. I mean, don't even tell me if I'm wrong because I know you're wrong in that case if you did. But the Quran is just not compatible with the Constitution. Period.
Oh no, it's compatible on a lot of parts. The problem is what you
There
guys are
may be
doing to your
parts, brother,
constitution.
but you guys always like to like. I'm not like. I'm saying the Quran would supersede the Constitution, right?
Bro, what's currently in the US right now? The Constitution, right? If there are
Huh?
Muslims in the US, what do they abide by in the Quran?
They're
Guess
abiding by the
what?
part. They're abiding by the part right now where it says they have to follow the law of the land. No problem.
No,
I'm
no, no,
not.
no. The Quran supersedes everything. And guess what the Quran says? If you're in the US,
Yes,
you
abide by the
have a
law of the land.
treaty, you have an agreement.
Right.
Great. There you
Yes.
go.
Right. I'm not. I am not arguing that that's not happening. What I'm arguing is that if the Muslims became a majority, that treaty would be canceled. Period.
So, okay, so you have an issue with people wanting to change the laws of the land.
No, what I'm having an
The
issue with is
majority.
that my issue, honestly, is not even with you guys. It's really with most Americans, right? Which is, I think, why
It's
they should hear
democracy,
this.
bro. That's the
No,
issue.
it's democracy, but it's not just democracy. Democracy could work better if people were aware of what Islam actually was, and I don't think they are. That's the problem. And
Well,
I think
it
that's
doesn't
what,
matter.
and going back to Charlie, is I think that's what he was mostly concerned about. I think that's what he wanted to stress to people, to point out, like, hey, I don't think you guys really want this. You get what I'm saying?
Okay,
And I
so
think,
let's assume.
and I think if you were being honest, you would agree that if you were in a Christian's shoes, you also wouldn't want it.
Absolutely not. What the hell, bro? I am like you're making no sense because you're saying you don't
If
want
you were
people
a
to change it,
Christian,
the
if
majority.
you were a
Are you
Christian,
against are you against the majority changing the laws of their own land?
brother,
Are you
again,
against that?
we moved past that already. If you were a Christian,
No, it's integral. It's
brother,
integral.
if you were a Christian though, if you were a Christian, right, hardcore Christian, you would not want to be taken over by a Muslim.
That's a moot
It's just
point. I'm not a
point blank.
Christian.
Period. I get that, but most people in America are.
Bro, if I had 4 legs, I'd be a horse. It's a moot point. The point I'm making is right now, currently, are you against the majority changing or affecting the laws currently in the US? If the majority agrees.
We already answered that, brother. There's a
I
nuance
see.
point there.
No, 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 no.
We're
Answer,
for
answer, bro.
democracy right now, right? And I think that most people just need to be educated on what we're up against. They need to democratically close the border so that we're not taken over by anybody else's ideology. Period.
Beautiful. Thank you. Thank you. Beautiful. You know, beautiful example or comparison I'm going to give you. You're exactly the same white slave owners that had that opinion when the changes were being made to free black slaves. They didn't want people or the majority,
Okay,
quote
okay,
unquote,
okay.
making a
Why?
change to that
Why?
law
Why?
because they disagree
Why
with
am
it.
I a slave owner?
Because you
Why?
disagree with something currently, whether it's
So
beneficial for you or
so
not.
as an American, we don't have our right to close our borders to other ideologies.
As an American, it's fundamentally in your
Yeah.
process to allow the
Do
majority to
Muslim
affect how
countries
things go.
do Muslim countries do that?
Some Muslim countries do. The
No,
hell,
they don't.
yeah,
No, they
And
don't.
I,
yeah.
one of
They're
the things I
presidents,
think,
No, they
prime
don't.
ministers of
Listen,
Muslim countries. What are you talking about?
listen. Okay, if I go to Saudi Arabia, right? Am I allowed to?
You said Muslim countries.
Yeah. So again, I'm talking
Is
about
Saudi
like
the only Muslim country?
this is the thing. Like I don't want to like. Let's just be honest, brother. Like let's not. We're
I
all
am.
adults
You're not,
here.
bro.
We're all adults here. Like let's not play games, okay? Like
Just
we're
one is
talking
one.
about the essence of Islam, okay?
Bro,
Kuffars
I
or
just want to know your anchor.
disbelievers, we're not allowed to
Bro,
spread our
don't
quote
change.
unquote
Don't change.
disbelief, right? Like that's
Don't
that's
change. Don't change. Don't
foundational.
change.
When you want to talk about integral, that's
Bro, you
integral.
can't spread
If there's a
anti-Semitism in
country,
the U.S.
I guarantee you that if you were to be honest about that, then you would say, oh, those countries aren't even Muslim, right? Because they're not following the
Oh,
right.
yeah.
They're not following the actual Sharia.
Bro, do you believe in absolute freedom of speech? Do
Because
you believe in
yeah,
absolute freedom
I
of speech?
do. Yes.
Absolute,
No,
no
don't.
hold bars.
No, you
Yes.
don't.
Hold
Your
on,
own
hold
country
on.
doesn't even have
Absolute, no
freedom
hold
of
bars.
speech.
Can you say right now on this live, you want to unalive the president? And you want to
You
unalive
can't.
Jewish people?
Are
and
you
that
asking me? Are you
currently-
asking me if I'm allowed to say it on TikTok or am I allowed to say it like? What are
Will
you
you
getting at?
say it? Do you believe in it? Absolute freedom of
No,
speech.
you go in front of a
Okay,
street and you say,
brother. Okay, so okay, look, I
Can you?
believe in freedom of speech. I'm not allowed to say it on TikTok, and then I choose whether I want to be on
Why
TikTok
not?
because of that, right? I get to choose where I want to come on TikTok or not, right?
All right, will you go live, record it, say that I want to unalive the president, that I believe
How,
the HCOS
how
isn't
did
real.
what
I
I
want
just
to unalive
said?
Jewish people.
How did what I just said not already answer that question?
No, we
If
have
I
the
want to
freedom
be
of
on
speech.
TikTok, if I want to be on TikTok, then I have to follow TikTok's rules, right?
So I said,
Okay.
can you record, post it somewhere,
So
or
so
go there and not get shot or get arrested,
where,
etc.? Is it illegal
wherever
to
it
do that? Is it
wherever it
illegal to
is
do that?
wherever it is, there may be laws, there may be like according to you, there may be
Oh,
like
there are laws.
terroristic laws, right? No
So
problem.
there are laws. There
Right,
are laws against speech.
but that doesn't mean that I like, for example, those laws that are in place not affecting me. I don't have no problem, right? Like this conversation is again, it's not black and white. Yes, I
You're
understand that
making
there.
it black and white.
No, I'm not.
Yes, you
I'm
are.
being very specific here that I don't want to be taken over by Islam. Okay,
No, you said
you're trying to make
earlier.
these parallels to where like some parts of the American system might be relatable. I don't care.
No,
Like
because you said earlier you're not allowed to spread Christianity or disbelief on a land. Bro, I'm showing you, you can't even talk about certain things in your own country. There's
right, but
inconsistency. There's no
you're trying
freedom of
to
speech.
you're trying to make talking about Christianity with wanting to unalive the president. Those things are not. They
It's
don't.
fundamental. It's speech. You just
It,
said spread your disbelief.
regardless, there's certain levels
It's words, right?
there's
It's
certain
just
levels
words,
of
right?
there's certain levels of speech that I don't mind giving up.
Brother,
No
one of
problem.
the definitions of democracy, if you look up democracy coming from the Greek democratus, there's an electoral vote for a reason, because in democracy they believe that the majority of the people don't have the wherewithal and common sense to know what's actually good for them.
Oh,
So they
100%.
don't
That's
even,
happening today with
you
the
know,
liberals.
right? So, yeah. So it's just, I mean, yeah. So I mean, that's why
Wait,
they have
did that happen?
electoral
Did that
votes.
happen when they freed the slaves?
Did what happen?
Exactly what you just said. Repeat it. Did that happen with the slaves? That they didn't have the
So,
wherewithal to
I wouldn't.
understand it wasn't in their best interest?
It depends who you ask. I wouldn't feel that
What
way,
about the
but I'm
civil
sure
rights?
the slave owners probably felt that way.
So they were right. Is that what you're saying?
No. What
So
I'm
just
simply
because you might
saying,
have that opinion doesn't mean it's right, bro.
my friend, listen, it's fine. Like, I get what you're saying, right? Like, democracy is not always right. No problem. I've already conceded that. That doesn't mean we want to be taken over by Islam. Like, do you get, like, you see how there's
No, it
still.
means you're fine with whoever's the majority taking over you.
No, it's not. It's not. That's
That's
not what it
literally
means.
what it means. The
Again,
brother that defined that
I'm trying to
earlier.
tell you this. Like, I'm being honest with you because again, I'm trying to. This whole thing is based around what Charlie was talking about. You guys want to paint him out like he's this bad guy when he was just at the heart of his message was trying to tell Americans right? That we need to protect our country,
No, he's a
right?
hypocrite.
And he
He's a
spoke as a
You're showing
Christian.
right now, brother.
It's
He's a
not
he's a
hypocritical, brother. Like, think about it. Okay, going back to the things that we would be against, right? We already discussed child marriage. Another one is SMEC slaves, right? Who wants that? Why would anybody say, yeah, you know what? Let's allow that.
If you're
honestly
if the majority,
understand that term, bro. I
no.
honestly
If the majority of your constituents said it's
That's
allowed,
That's
you would be
wild.
fine for it.
But that's
If
wild.
the majority of your constituents
Who
said, you have to, by
who
definition, you
who
accepting it.
told you I'd be fine with that?
By your country's laws, you just agreed. That's exactly what's fine with it.
No, you're conflating the fact that a democratic system could get to that point, but it's not there.
Can it?
And I can
Can it?
guarantee you, I already said a democratic system could get there in some imaginary planet, but it's not there currently. And I guarantee you, if you polled the United States, nobody would want that.
It was there. It was there. You know
Brother,
why?
I'm not.
You know
I'm not
why?
saying
Slavery.
it. I'm not saying it wasn't there. I'm saying it's not there, and
So
I'm
your
pretty
point
sure.
is moot. You accepted it as
What's
a
no?
country. The
It's
US.
not moot because what you're asking me is it morally like is it morally? I don't know what's the word, but whatever you're saying, if it's whether we would consider it moral or immoral based on the things that we've done in the past, versus what I'm saying, which is we're not doing that now, and we don't want to do that. We don't want to go back to doing it, but yet
How do you know you don't
Islam
want
would
to?
allow it.
How do you know you don't want
How
to?
do you know you don't?
Yeah. If tomorrow, 51% of the country decided they want to,
Yo.
then what?
I,
You'd accept
again,
it?
these like hypothetical situations.
You're
First of all,
throwing so many. It's a
like
problem.
again, like the answer is no. I wouldn't want it, even if the majority wanted it. But again, the majority is not going to want that. That's what we're trying to get you
But
to
would it be
understand.
legal? Would it be allowed?
Yes, I guess it would, but that's not the point. Like the point is that as a society right now, we stand against anybody who would want something like that to happen.
Well, again, literally like 50 years ago, you guys were
So
against
again, so
homosexual
if
rights,
again,
etc.
if I take that standard, right, and you put yourself in Charlie's shoes, you can see why he would be against Islam, right?
No, because
Like
there's no moral anchorage.
without like coloring him as this evil person, you could just see, okay, yeah, he's just against SMEC slave.
Bro, no, because I'll
You
reduce
keep
this
saying that, bro,
because this
and
is
you sound
insane.
so ignorant because you don't even know what that means.
I'll,
If
I'll,
I
hold
explain
on,
that
brother.
to
We
you,
don't, brother.
Brother, first of
Brother.
all, like I'm sitting here having a conversation. If I'm saying something that like I brought up SMEC slave and nobody here said no, we're not doing that. They're just everyone just went straight to like, well, it would be allowed if it was like
No. I'm gonna highlight the hypocrisy really quick. So, if a country, if a little nation, sovereign nation, 9 men, 1 woman, they vote that they can have a SMEC slave or whatever the ratio is, are you against that?
yes,
Democratically, they elected.
yes.
They elected, so it's fine.
Yes,
Under
like
their
are you
paradigm.
trying to make the argument that just because I believe in democracy
No,
in
no,
America
because you're a hypocrite.
that I would have to automatically fall for whatever
No, because you're a
happens?
hypocrite. That's what I'm showing.
Okay, so again, you are trying to make that point then, right?
That you're a hypocrite. Yes,
That
you
I
have a
have to
hypocritical
go
stance.
along because I'm an American. I have to go along with whatever is democratically selected, right?
What's your stance? Yeah, what's your
Again,
stance?
so again, my stance is
What's your moral anchor?
because you feel that way. I want everyone to hear what you're saying and understand what would happen if we allow people like you to take over this country.
No, it's people
Point blank,
like
period.
you. That's the funny part.
Like,
My religion, my moral anchor says point blank, period, past, present, future. That's not allowed.
like what
Yours
kind of a
allows
person?
it.
What kind of a person do you even have to be to even say that you even want that to be okay?
You.
That's
you.
psychotic. Like you
You.
literally have to be a psychopath at that point.
So you're a psychopath then.
How am I a psychopath?
That's your entire paradigm. That's what it's built on.
Like
Your
you're like,
entire
yo,
country built on.
like you're
But
like,
we have
yo, we're gonna
subjective morality.
hijack your
We
whole
have
democratic
subjective morality.
process and then turn you into SMEC
It
slaves.
does again. Don't
That's
try to pin it on
wild.
don't try to pin it on the Muslims. You have a president who's currently doing that.
And I would be
You've allowed
surprised
for
if
this.
I would be surprised. I hope. Like, would you actually have a SMEC slave?
Bro, you support a president that basically did.
Bro, no,
Would
I would actually
you?
not have a sex slave.
You
I would
voted
actually
for a
go to
president that did.
Iraq
I would.
and stick probes like Abu Ghraib and rape people.
Guys,
and
guys,
just do that to
look,
them instead.
I'm
Come
not
on.
Brother,
saying
ignore
anything.
that.
I'm not
Bill
saying
Clinton.
anything that you guys are not Like you
Trump.
guys are telling me that this is allowed. So now
Those are
I'm
the
just
people
asking,
leading your country. The
brother.
people who are allowing it, who did it, are
Look,
leading your country. They've
brother,
led your
look.
country.
I'm
Thomas
trying.
Jefferson.
I'm trying to keep this very simple. Okay. I'm just asking
I
you.
have
Would
too.
you? Would you want to have a Smex? Oh damn! I didn't see all the people trying to join. My bad, guys. Would you want to have a Smex slave?
The U.S. did, and they want that. You had
I
Thomas
don't, brother.
Jefferson.
Look,
Your
okay,
paradigm wants
okay,
that,
okay.
not
Look,
us.
I'm not disagreeing with you. Now, do you want to have a Smex slave?
So you're not disagreeing with it. You think
I'm not.
absolutely.
I'm not disagreeing with you. Now, do you want to have a Smex slave?
For the country, the law of the land is the law of the land. That's
Patrick,
not
your
my
mic, your
opinion to
mic
speak
is
on the law.
loud.
Can I please explain that Smex slave term and why
Is that
it's
better?
even in the Quran,
Yeah,
bro? Just like
yeah.
1 second. Okay, thank you. So one of the things about that is in those times, in the times of war, which that has been abrogated
Stop,
now.
please stop saying that. Please stop saying that.
It is, bro.
Don't please. No,
no.
That is the world's biggest gaslight. In times of
gaslight?
war,
That's
no,
what they
in
say.
times
Let
of
me
war
finish.
in times of war is subjective.
Okay,
There's
bro, just let me
Muslims.
finish.
There's no.
Okay.
Wait. There's Muslims who believe. I'm pretty sure you all would probably believe that we're at war right now. You all came up here saying, "Oh, the United States is taken over by Israel," and they're right. So,
It is.
according
You
to
don't
you
agree?
guys, I'm pretty sure like you feel like we're in a time of war. No,
No, bro.
No, not really, but you're
We have a
Not
choice to be
really?
here. We have a
Bro.
choice to be here, bro. We have
Bro.
a choice to be here.
okay.
We're
So
not-
I'm here.
we're not-
So are we at war?
Not
Are
in the
you?
United
other
States.
Is it
political parties,
is it
yes,
your
with their
job?
own-
Okay, is it your job right now to struggle against me?
No, you're against your own political
No.
party.
Is
No.
it your job right now? You're
Is it
struggling
the
against
right
me.
versus left? No,
Right
is
now,
it the right
you're-
or the left? Who's your war against?
According to you, right? But now, whatever, whoever you think is right or
Who's
left.
your war against?
My point is that you're trying to tell me that I'm wrong or that America is wrong or whatever, right?
No, you said we're at war. Who are we at war against? Tell me.
Yeah.
Evil.
What
Evil.
I don't know. Whoever you guys would consider.
Define evil. We would
Whatever.
consider evil or you?
According to your definition, it would be anything that's against your God, right?
No, it's not, because
That's
we're allowed treaties. We're
guys,
allowed
excuse me. Can I
agreements,
have
bro.
a
Who
can I
are
have a
you at
minute?
war with?
Can I
You
have a
said
minute
that.
to respond?
I'm not
to
at
the
war.
question?
That's what I'm trying to explain
Go
to you. I'm
ahead,
not at
My
war.
friend, wait 1 minute. So you're against slavery, am I right?
No, I'm not. I'm not. This is not the conversation anymore. We're trying to address now. This gentleman said that those things don't apply anymore because we're not in a time of war. That's what we're talking about,
You cannot slave a free person according to Islam.
brother. That literally doesn't even make sense. You can't slave a free person. Then who would you slave?
It's not
Yes.
about slaving.
So
You would
how
slave
does
a
it apply?
slave?
Even
Like,
if you
like,
are,
is this literally what you guys like? You like, what is your intention of coming up here to just deceive people with your words? You
I'm
can't
not
slave a
deceiving
free
anybody.
person.
That's
Okay, so
just Islam.
let's stick right
Okay,
there. You
you
can't
speaking
slave. Okay,
over me
okay.
will not
No,
make you right.
no, because I already know what you're trying to do right now. You just said you can't slave a free person. What does that mean? Who can you
It means we
slave?
can't. It
So
means we can't do what the U.S. did.
today,
Uh huh.
wait. So today, you can't. Even if you are in war, you cannot slave nobody because everybody's free. There is no slavery no more.
So who can you slave?
And according
So who
to
can?
Islam,
Okay,
and
okay.
according
So
to
okay,
Islam, you cannot slave a free person.
okay. So who can you slave?
Is prison enslavement?
Wait.
Hold on.
Is
Hold
Wait.
on. No,
somebody who is
no,
already
Wait.
slave?
I want to ask him. Who can you
Somebody
slave?
who is already slave.
no. Is prison enslavement? Is prison enslavement?
Hey, yo, hold on a second. I want to talk to this guy. You can
See,
enslave.
brother,
Yeah, let him.
You can enslave somebody who's already a slave. That's what you want everybody to believe right now, right?
Slavery in Islam is there is rules for it, and it applies to people who are slaves already. If you're in war today, there is no slavery.
So are you against
That's
transferring
wild. This is like
prisoners
the wildest.
But
like
here's the
I,
thing. Here's the.
I, I,
here's
want,
the
I
thing.
want to, I want to, like,
So-
I really want
so-
everybody to. This is the part where I want you guys to pay
Okay, okay.
attention
So
because this is
are you
this.
against?
Now we're falling into the realm of takia. Now this is everybody pay attention.
It's
What's
not.
the
It's
key?
not
This is
takia. Wait,
takia.
1 second. 1 second.
The taqueria
here's
has
the
been
thing, here's the
opened.
thing. If
You
if
can't
there is
slave a
if
free
there is a
person, you can only
slavery- if
slave
there
a
is slavery
slave.
command in
Yeah,
your
yeah.
Bible.
Indeed.
Yeah, you can
Indeed.
slave
I'll
a
show you a
slave. Yeah.
slavery
Indeed.
command.
Yeah, yeah,
Relax,
Where like
yeah,
you
yeah.
can
I'll show you
slave
slave in the
slave
Bible.
12,
Yeah,
12
okay.
years
Yeah.
old, and keep it
Right.
for yourself.
Yeah,
D&D.
yeah.
If this guy's a
Army of
Christian,
Moses.
D&D.
Right.
If this guy's
Yeah.
a Christian,
Take the virgin, keep them for yourself.
This is
That's
what
a
I'm talking
slavery,
about.
and
like,
you know.
and this is what we're supposed to. And then you guys are mad at Charlie Kirk, right? This is why you get mad at Charlie Kirk because he didn't allow
no
slavery.
one's mad
That's
at
what you're
Charlie.
mad
No,
at.
he
Who's the
did
one
not
that
address
shot
his
him?
Bible too.
That's the whole
He's a
prompt.
hypocrite.
Who unalive?
Terry,
Why
Terry,
have
Terry,
he said
Terry.
anything
Wait,
about
one
his
second,
Bible,
How
right?
are we bad? We
He did not say
unalive him.
anything.
That's your
Let me say
people.
something.
About-
So you're mad at Charlie because he didn't want to accept slavery.
No,
That's
no,
what
no,
you're saying.
no.
I'm not at Charlie because this.
That's
No,
what
your
you're saying.
neighbor is.
He's a hypocrite. He said,
How?
by his own words, gun control, according to him, his gun, the laws of gun, he, by his own standard,
This argument
that
is so silly.
every person that dies due to
Yeah,
gun
yeah.
violence
So
is
what?
deserved
He said
to
that.
keep his
Okay.
Second Amendment
Okay.
right.
And
So
who was
okay.
mad about that?
Second
And who
Amendment
was
Okay.
mad about that?
Okay. So what's your point of bringing that up?
Who was mad
Do you-
about
Because
that?
he's
Do
a
you think
hypocrite.
now? Do you
He's
think
a
how is he a
hypocrite.
wait? How is he a hypocrite because he got unalive?
Yes.
Yo, what? How does he
Anyways,
become a hypocrite?
yo.
I guarantee you that even to his last
Charlie,
moment,
against
I
one
guarantee you even
Against
to his last moment, he would have stood for
Charlie
the Second Amendment,
Kirk.
100%.
It is stupid to die by the same weapon you fight it for to keep.
And not only that, Muslims weren't the ones that
Brother,
were mad. Who
what?
shot him? It wasn't us.
Brother,
Yeah, it
what?
is very stupid
It wasn't
to
us.
die by the weapons you
Okay,
fight for.
so
to
so
protect
so
and keep.
Islam has no
It was your-
weapons, right?
Bro, it was your own political
Islam,
party
wait,
that
Islam
went
has no
We're
weapons,
not
right?
in war. We're not in war.
Okay, I know you're never in war. I know.
Teachers
I know.
should not,
I know. You're
listen,
never in war,
Teachers
but-
should
yeah,
not should not
yeah,
carry
yeah.
weapons
Yeah,
to
yeah.
stop
Shot him.
high
This
school
is
shooters.
crazy. This is
What are you
crazy.
talking about?
This is crazy. So you guys have no
Racist.
weapons, right?
Racist, misogynist.
We do.
Okay. Listen, the
Where's
point
Charlie?
is, Charlie
Charlie
Kirk,
got unalived.
Charlie Kirk understood very well that he could have been unalived. So what? We're all gonna get unalived at one point.
And we're celebrating.
That's fine.
No,
I'm
you
fine
got,
with that.
and you guys have every right to celebrate it. I'm not even taking
We're
that
not
from you.
celebrating.
Today,
What did I
sir,
say?
we're doing a
I don't- I said I don't- I
Hanukkah
don't-
celebration.
You guys are not seeing the twist of irony here is that the person that unalived him was from the opposite side. The
Thank
people
Jesus,
that
thank
actually
Jesus, he got
advocate
unalived.
to
Thank
remove
Jesus.
No.
are the
No,
ones
that-
that wielded
They're
the
not
weapon
from the opposite side.
to
And
get
his
rid of
his
the man that
parents
was
all
defending our Second
Republicans.
Amendment.
What are you talking about?
No, the
That
main
doesn't
thing
make
that,
him a hypocrite.
no, the main thing I want to highlight is that you
You
guys,
need to
like,
read
I'm
more
asking you guys,
information, my friend.
I'm asking you guys why you guys got offended at Charlie in the first place, and what I'm hearing
right.
is that you're mad because he doesn't want to accept getting enslaved by
We're
Islam.
not mad. Look at us alive.
That's just
No,
that's
no,
insanity.
Wait,
He's
one
the
at a
man.
No, I
time,
don't
one
have a
at a
problem
time.
with-
Charlie said he don't like black people. I got a problem with
He
that.
never said that.
My
He never
wife
said
is
that.
black.
He never
He
said
said he
that.
wouldn't take
Never
a
said that.
plane if the black pilot
He,
was
he
was,
never
was
said
the,
that.
The one,
he,
right?
you guys, okay? Do
He
you want
did. He has
to?
a
Okay,
problem with a black-
okay,
There
guys,
is a black
guys.
pilot.
All right, guys.
My
Without
wife
yelling,
is black.
I got you. I got you. Who's speaking? Is that Lucas?
Nah, it's Yeshua. Sorry, Yeshua. It's Jesus. It's
Oh,
me.
I see you. I see you. I see you. Okay.
Yes.
This guy's crazy.
Brother, if you keep laughing like that,
Yo,
your
this
hair's
guy-
gonna come back.
this guy's
Don't laugh
wild.
too hard.
This guy's wild. Okay, look.
It's me,
Look,
Jesus.
let's talk about what he said, but like, if we're gonna just be yelling, it's gonna be irrelevant. What he said
problem, no
was
problem.
he doesn't want affirmative action or DEI. Do you know what that is?
No.
Okay, so affirmative action is when a company or an organization is required to hire a certain amount of diverse races in order to meet a quota. Okay, and so that means sometimes they have to prioritize somebody's race above their accolades. Do you get that? And he was against that.
Yeah.
Okay, he was
Host, can I
against
just say
that.
something to you, Host? Host, can I just say something? I just saw like 5 minutes ago him saying that Charlie said we need more people to get unalived yearly so we can something about gun rights or blah blah.
He didn't say that.
Didn't he? He said, yeah, there is a video. There is an interview. I saw it.
Yo, what he said
He said more
was
people
what
need
he
to get
said was
unalived.
that
Well,
he didn't.
yeah. Go on, bro. Go on. Sorry. My bad. I'm quoting it wrong. Go on.
What he
God,
said was
copyright.
that in order to protect the Second Amendment, we have to accept the fact that some people will be unalived. That's what he said.
Yes, and Charlie was one of them.
And he was but
Yes.
like
And
the
how,
fact
how
that
is
you're
that
laughing
funny
about
he
he
how is
always
it funny to mock someone's death?
Where's the
right,
party
right,
going?
In any
right,
form.
right, exactly. He
Like
always
that,
knew he
that already says where your moral compass is at just by
exactly.
that behavior in itself.
He
I'm just
always
saying. I'm just
he
gonna say
My
this. So
teacher told me
it's
karma
very
is a
stupid
bitch.
to die by the weapon you protected very much.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
so
He
so
died
that
by
you know
the
that you know
force.
what the irony of that is, guys. You know,
Yeah.
everyone that goes to war when they die by the nukes or the guns that they yield
Yes.
from the opposing
Yes.
forces, that means they're all hypocrites. That means
right.
every army is a hypocrite.
That's silly.
100%.
That means
That's
that
100%.
silly.
they are
That's
the
silly.
police officers.
100%.
Every
I
single
agree
human
with you.
being that
That's
yields a
silly.
weapon. No, that's
But
just
actually
mumbo
that
jumbo.
exactly that is mumbo jumbo. So now, but just side note, this has nothing to do with anything. But does Islam not allow you guys to have weapons?
You're free of any type of weapon, not in schools and not in, you know.
Well, obviously not in
Yeah,
schools.
but
That's not
it's
allowed
not-
in.
I heard. Listen to this. I heard Charlie Kirk says, "Let's train the teachers to freaking have weapons and fight the shooter," which is like he probably on drugs when he said that.
D&D. So I think right now you're just rage baiting. So like,
I think it's funny, man.
I know, but it's not. It's not funny though.
I'm in the same boat with you, bro. I think it's funny too. I've been laughing since I've heard the news.
Yeah.
I've even got the video on my.
Can you
teach
believe
the
it?
teachers,
You're like an advocate for
All right, guys.
advocate
All
for
right, this
having
conversation
weapons
is
and you die
devolved.
by weapons.
This conversation is devolving now.
crazy.
Like, I'm gonna wrap it here for. Well, actually, no. I'm gonna talk to Queen D for a second. I want to talk to Queen D. Let me.
Nah, I appreciate you, host, man. Thank you for having us up, man.
Thank you, guys.
I'm gonna
Thank
go
you.
watch the video of Charlie getting neck shots.
Appreciate you guys. Oh, Queen D, come up, Queen D. I want to talk to you. Actually.